Good morning. It is Friday and it is the, well, that's weird shadow, isn't it? There, that's better. It's the 16th of June. You probably would have seen, I think I'm starting this vlog off with some footage that I took on a walk at work on Wednesday. All of that was actually filmed in South London. And it was because the weather has heated up here. We're now definitely in summer here in England, and it's a season I really struggle with. I suffer from seasonal affective disorder in the summer, something that I think the majority of people I think who have seasonal affective disorder suffer in the winter with the lack of light, but I struggle with the abundance of light and the heat, and it puts me in a very low mood. I feel like I can't think straight. And I do struggle with summer. So something I've been doing the last two years or so is really trying to focus on the good things and the things that I can enjoy about summer. And I've been, trying to make sure that I find things that I can wear, that I feel comfortable in, and everything like that. But I've got today off because I work every now and then, a few Saturdays throughout the year. I work a Saturday shift in the museum, and I get time off in lieu. So I've taken today off. And Lilia, my eldest daughter, she's 17, she doesn't go to college on Fridays. It's nearly the end of term for her, to be honest. Next week is her last week. So we are going down to Tunbridge in Kent, and we're going to join a group of ladies with Sup with Anna. I'll link her underneath, for a Friday paddle. And we're going to paddle boarding, I should say. When I say paddle, I don't mean we're just going to dip our toes in the River Medway. We're actually going to take our paddle boards and spend the morning paddling along the River Medway, maybe have a little bit of a swim in the river, have some lunch, and then come home. It's going to be a really lovely way to spend the day, and something that makes me appreciate summer, being able to get out and do it without a wetsuit. I'm just in shorts and a t-shirt. And I've got my GoPro, and I'm going to take you along with us. And if you've been watching for some time, you will know that back in April I did April vlogs, and on my birthday we went for a paddleboard on the River Medway, and I lost my GoPro. It is lying in a watery grave at the bottom of the River Medway somewhere. Somewhere at the bottom of the River Medway there's probably a load of fish doing TikToks, but I've got a new one, and that's coming with me, and it's got so many different floats on it. There's no way it's sinking. I think if I clung onto it I could survive. Enough about my equipment disasters, and I'm gonna go and get our picnic together, and let's go.
It's these flowers.
Oh. Lilia has hay fever. We might have a swim. This is where I dropped my GoPro, just down there.
I need to stay with you, but I
And just say it, have a moment of silence for GoPro Hero 9. You want a GoPro Hero 10 now? So we've been paddling for about an hour, and we just stopped for a drink and maybe a swim, and then we're going to paddle back and have some lunch. Come on! Come on!
Oh my word! That's amazing! I love it. Sorry. Fishy. Miss you.
Oh. How long have you got to put on the ground?
We are back. I'm not sure, I didn't film that much because there was a lot of other people there, so I didn't want to sort of put anyone on camera that shouldn't be there, put people on YouTube when I haven't asked permission. I'm going to have a banana. I have a banana almost every day. I hate bananas, but they're very good for me. So I do sometimes put them in a smoothie, but can't be bothered. Before we went out, I was going upstairs and Lilia was coming downstairs, and we kind of met in the middle, and one of us had to give and go back. Can't cross on stairs, it's bad luck. So I went down and I said, oh, we're like the Sneetches. And then I realised that wasn't right. And I was trying to think of the Dr. Seuss thing. So then before we had to leave, we had to have a little sort of pause in proceedings whilst I found this. I've just come back and seen it. And it wasn't Sneetches. I was thinking of the Zacks. Anyone remember the north going Zacks? And the south going Zacks in the prairie of Prax? So I put that there thinking, oh, I'll read that when I get back. So I'm going to have my banana and read that and chuckle to myself. Then I'm going to do a bit of knitting. I should be filming. I need to film a video for my knitting and crochet channel. I want to do a tag about amigurumi books because I have many. But it would mean moving Dan from where he's sitting, working upstairs to get to all my books and pulling out boxes and stuff like that. And I can't be bothered. I'm going to give myself the afternoon off worrying about it. I might just check my emails. I might have a look at the footage I took on the GoPro. And knit. Good morning. It is Saturday, my least favourite day of the week. And Lilia is still asleep upstairs. It's about 10:30. And Dan has just taken Phoebe and her friend who stayed over last night to football training. Phoebe usually has drama school on a Saturday afternoon, but it's just been cancelled due to teachers not being able to get there because of train problems. I don't know what that's all about. It's never been cancelled before. Anyway, you don't need to know all that. I'm here and I've positioned myself deliberately in front of a ton of clutter because this is what today is going to be about. So obviously we are still kind of in the midst of our kitchen renovation. The kitchen itself is done. We've still got to do the floor and I've still got to paint everything. The kitchen also incorporates our dining room. So we have a kind of kitchen with dining room adjoined, all one kind of big room. So we had the whole dining room plastered and a few other little changes and improvements made, and then we had the entire kitchen refitted as well. So the whole thing needs painting and the floor of the kitchen bit needs putting down, but it's taken me a long time to make decisions on that because it takes me a long time to make decisions. But it means everything was displaced. This unit was in the kitchen. It's not going back in the kitchen, but all the stuff on it is either stuff that was in the kitchen that needed somewhere else to go whilst we were renovating, or stuff that has accumulated on here in the meantime because it's here. And also we had a ton of boxes in our bedroom with stuff from the kitchen as well. Whilst it was being done. So I want to start to move everything back into the kitchen, even if it means the kitchen's going to be a nightmare, because it can no longer be in the rooms where it doesn't belong. Because if it's scattered all over the house in boxes, not only is it really jarring on my mental health to be living in nearly every single room in the house with that amount of clutter, but also it means I can't see it. I'm not sorting it. I'm not saying, right, what do we genuinely have room for? What can we honestly get rid of? So I've been watching a few videos this morning whilst I was having my cup of tea on decluttering and tidying and organising, just to get me motivated. And I've made a bit of a start in clearing out boxes in the bedroom, and my next step is to get a load of stuff downstairs. So just to show you here, I've got a load of stuff here that has come out of boxes that needs to go downstairs. A lot of this is actually going to be donated. Some of it needs a home in the new kitchen arrangement, and there's stuff out here into the hallway as well, all the way through, all stuff that's going downstairs. So I just want to be very honest about where I'm starting from, so that I can show you my progress, for me as well, so I can show myself my progress. Let's get started. Might have a cup of tea first, actually. I feel like I need a cup of tea and a snack, and then I'll get started. Bit of procrastination. It's now half an hour later and I've done nothing. I've had a cup of tea and then I got lost in an Instagram scrolling thing, which I don't often do, but I'm procrastinating too much. Anyway, I've got my earbuds in and I'm going to put on my audiobook. I'm listening to one that's free on Audible at the moment, and I often get asked about where I listen to audiobooks. So I have BorrowBox and Libby, and I use them both frequently. I also have an Audible subscription, but I also take full advantage of the free things on Audible as well. Anyway, so I'm listening to, I need to do an update on the books I've finished. Might do that later in this vlog or the next one. But I'm listening to Great Expectations. It's one of my favourite Charles Dickens books. I've read it quite a few times, and I have a few different versions of it on my bookshelves. But this is the first time I've listened to it on Audible, and I'm listening to it read by Matt Lucas of Little Britain, and it's really interesting because at first I thought, oh my goodness, this is awful. And then I kept listening, and actually what it's done is, I've always thought of Great Expectations, and it's a story I know well, as being a quite dour and serious story. But listening to Matt Lucas read it, it's really funny. Like he sort of draws out the things I hadn't really noticed. I think because of the old-fashioned language, it's easy to miss the humour of it and the comedy in it. And the way he reads it, even though he really hams up some of the voices, which is, you know, very Matt Lucas, and it does feel a little bit like Great Expectations meets Little Britain meets Panto. But I'm really enjoying it. It's just really good fun to listen to. So, and I've got my book to one side, so I keep following along to see where I am and see how that old-fashioned language correlates to the way he's reading it. It's really interesting. So yeah, it's Great Expectations from the Dickens collection. It's an Audible only thing, and it's read by Matt Lucas. So I'm following the advice of some of the decluttering videos that I've watched. This is a really uncomfortable angle, but I'm going to go with it. And I've got 3 boxes or 3 areas. So this box is going to be for things that are going to be donated, and it's a box that can go straight to the charity shop. I will put everything in here, but I will sort it a bit. I like to sort and label my things that I'm donating to the charity shop. I've got some other stuff in my car as well. I've got a bin bag for things that are going to get thrown away. Anything for recycling will go outside to go into the recycling bin. And I've got a basket over here just because I happen to have an empty basket, so I'm going to use it. And that's going to be for time will tell. This is something the minimalist mum does a lot. So you put things in there that you're really not sure about, and if after 3 months you haven't used it, you'll probably have a lot more confidence to make a decision to get rid of it. So that's what I'm going to start to do with the stuff that has to go into the kitchen, to declutter it before I make room for it, because I don't want to make room for stuff that's just going to end up being clutter at the back of a cupboard. loads of flies in here as well because we've got all the doors open. It's been really hot. I'm trying not to complain too much about it, but I do struggle with it. But I think I am coping this year better than I have. The paddleboarding has really helped. And just the fact that the neighbourhood has actually been, I'm going to find some real wood to touch wood, has been more peaceful than it has been in past years. I shouldn't say that on a Saturday, because Saturday is usually the worst day of the week for lack of peace, but that's helped a lot. I think a lot of my problems stem from the noise, as well as the extended light and the heat, the whole shebang. Anyway, I've just made lunch for the two girls. Dan's gone to my mum's to help with a bit of chopping back of some vegetation in her garden. And yeah, I thought I'd just update you on a couple of the plans for the kitchen. So this is our old fridge here. It's all unplugged now, and it's very old, over 10 years I think, and it came with us from our old house. So we were toying with the idea of just putting it out on the front driveway, because usually what happens then is the people that like to drive around and pick up metal will come and get it, and if not, we'll call the council to come and get it. We'll have to pay for that though, so hopefully someone will come and nab it. And in this corner here used to be a desk, but we never were really using it. We've all got laptops now. We don't have, we've got rid of the desktop computer. So what I want to get is a larder cupboard, which would fit really nicely in this corner. I don't know if I'm going to get a double larder cupboard, which would be about maybe just over a metre wide, or something less than a metre wide, a sort of half larder. And in there, I'm going to put plates, which used to be up here. And we have 3 shelves that we made. Oh, do it from this angle. 3 shelves that we made out of an oak countertop that we used in the for a television stand in the living room. And I loved these shelves, but now that we've got the tiles, this is too high. I don't like the brackets anymore, and it's a lot of weight they have to take. So I'm going to revisit this. I'll probably still have the shelves on less sturdy brackets to hold not as much weight. And the plates and everything are going to go into a larder cupboard along with some other bits and all of our spices and so on. So that is going to swallow up a lot of things. So things that are going to go in the larder cupboard, I'm starting to put to one side, and I'm going to start putting over here on this old rack that we had in one of the cupboards until I get the larder cupboard, which will hopefully be in the next couple of weeks. Is this really boring? Yeah, so there's not tons and tons available, so I've only got a limited choice really. I'm thinking, I don't know what colour, maybe a grey, maybe a dove grey, because this is so white. And the floor we've chosen, by the way, is this one from Tops Tiles. It's really quite cheap and affordable, but at the end of the day I looked at all the expensive ones, I looked everywhere. I have got so many samples. I've got a whole envelope of samples in here, absolutely loads, at least 15 or 20. And the only one I liked was this one, so we're going to go with it. It's a tile effect, so it'll look like tiles, but it's actually luxury vinyl, which means it'll be a lot warmer. It looks almost the same colour as the concrete. Maybe we should just leave it. I'm really struggling to concentrate. Oh, Lilia's in here. Hello, Lilia. What are you reading?
Twisted Love.
Twisted Love. Oh dear. Is it?
I'm so upset right now.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
What, properly upset?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm really upset.
I've just interrupted an emotional moment. Twisted Love by Anna Huang. Twisted Love by Anna Huang has just broken Lilia.
I don't know if I can keep reading. It's genuinely so upsetting.
What, sad upsetting?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. I feel so bad for you. And she's got all her pens there beside her because she's annotating. Look.
I physically can't anymore. It's
I better leave her to her emotional reading. I'm going to go upstairs to talk to you because there's children everywhere. Oh look, a moment of non-clutter in my hallway. I'm finding it really hard to motivate myself and keep going because it's so overwhelming, because the mess that has been displaced from the kitchen renovation, but also because we were already in a big decluttering phase, is everywhere. It's so overwhelming, so it's really hard to keep going because everything leads to another room or another thing that you've got to think about and sort out. And I think with decluttering, it's all about decision making, isn't it? And it's really hard to do that all in one go. So it's now 1 o'clock and nobody needs me, so I am just going to keep going, because what I would like to do at the end of the day, when I have my little half-hour reading time, is feel like I'm doing that and that I've accomplished something and moved forward. So I guess cue music and lots of decluttering B-roll. Can we just appreciate my new dress from Stitch Fix? That's a story for another day. Just got to work up the bravery to wear it now. Losing my voice. I'm surrounded by people, so you'll hear all kinds of background noise, from dishwashers to shoes being put on to coughing and sniffling. I thought I'd show you this. So previously in the old kitchen we had scribbled notes of our favourite dishes that we make quite often in the week. I've also, I know it's silly, but I can never quite remember how to make a baked potato, so I had that scribbled down. We've got our thin and crispy pizza base that we make every Friday night. That's from Emma's Goodies. She's got a channel here on YouTube. This is my modified banana loaf. It's a sort of culmination of lots of different banana loaf recipes that over the years I've kind of changed, which was scribbled down. Dan's fluffy pizza base recipe, for the girls prefer the fluffy ones. And cheese sauce, how to make cheese sauce, because that's something Lilia loves to have, a cheese sauce for macaroni cheese, so I've got that. So what I did was I typed it all up onto nice typed bits of paper, and I'm going to blue tack these on the inside of the cupboards. I've just found some bits in the midst of all my clearing upstairs. Oh. Hours I've spent cleaning and tidying in this kitchen, and now it's covered in crumbs and stuff again. What did my family do to mess things up so quickly? Anyway, amongst all the boxes and stuff upstairs, there were a couple of bags that I've been looking for, and I've now found, which is really exciting because I want to put them in my car to use. The first one is this fantastic Barnes & Noble I Love Books bag, which was sent to me as a little thank you for the podcasts and the videos by Linda back at the beginning of the year. So I'm going to pop this in my car to use for my shopping and advertise my love of books.
Bless you.
Did you hear the word I love books?
I did. Oh, it's so nice.
It's lovely, isn't it? It's from shopping, it's from Barnes & Noble. Do we have Barnes & Noble here? I don't think we do we?
No, I don't think so.
No. And Linda also sent this amazing toadstool tea towel, which is going to look so lovely in my new kitchen. So I'm going to give this a little wash and a press. Actually, I'll pop it there to demonstrate how lovely it looks. Chickens are making a fuss outside. And I've also got this gorgeous bag that Janet made for me. Again, it was as a little thank you for the podcast. I think she said she made herself one. And she made one for me. So we've got a rooster and a hen on this side. And a very regal looking hen on this side. And then the straps are sheep. and it's so lovely. And there's like the pictures on the front are little divided pockets, and yeah, so this is going to go for my shopping as well, so I can take that when I'm out doing my... It's quite cool, isn't it? Can fit a lot of books in this one as well. So these are no longer in the bedroom, they are going into use. Oh, it was a lot hotter than I thought it was going to be. I'm at another awkward angle. It's 7:30. We've just had our dinner and everyone's having showers and putting pyjamas on. We're going to have a lazy Saturday night. I'm going to do a bit of knitting, and so we're momentarily distracted. We have parakeets that go over at this time of night. You can probably hear them. And yeah, it feels really nice to be cooking. We had some fajitas, and I made some apple crumble to get rid of... So that's the dishwasher gurgling. To get rid of some of the apples I had in the freezer from last summer, to make a bit of space because our freezer's smaller. So I thought, apple crumble. It's a bit cooler today, so I didn't mind having the oven on. Smells amazing, and it just feels so good to finally be moving around the kitchen in a way that feels like things are finally getting their place. So I feel like I've really made good progress today. Hello, it's now Tuesday, and I realised that I didn't finish off the vlog, so I'm just popping in to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the little ramble through paddleboarding and decluttering and kitchen updates and talking about summer seasonal affective disorder. It is a gorgeous day for me today. It is absolutely, it's still warm, it's still very much summer, but it's chucking it down with rain. We had a massive thunderstorm this morning. Everything feels fresh. You can smell petrichor in the air. The plants are all sort of stretching their petals and leaves, going, oh, what's happened? This is wonderful. So it's a really lovely day. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in the next vlog. I'm going to talk about books in the next vlog because I've listened and read to, I've finished listening to and finished reading quite a few. So I just wanted to do a little bit of an update on that. And yeah, thank you very much. I think we'll end on some lovely scenes of the wet and rainy garden. I'll see you next time. Bye.